Hey guys, I was going to be making a video today about cosplay and all the different cosplays I was going to be doing this year and how excited I am, but I decided that I should do a video about a more serious topic. What I'm going to be talking about today is anxiety, specifically mine. Everyone's different. Things that apply to me might not necessarily apply to other people and vice versa. So, I have struggled with anxiety for a while now. Throughout my whole life, I've had so many problems dealing with anxiety, with PTSD, with depression, and it gets really hard, and it doesn't really go away, and it's been getting worse for me, at least, and I think that's what I've realized. I have serious issues with people abandoning me, like my friends. I don't really have friendships that have lasted for more than a few years or mostly a few months. People don't tend to stick around. And I keep thinking that maybe it's my fault, and other people keep telling me it's not your fault, you didn't do anything, you're fine. But that becomes harder and harder to believe every time it happens, and I don't realize it until much later, and I think like, oh wow. So I'm always trying to put this effort into my friendships, and it's not being reciprocated. So for me, my anxiety has been getting really difficult, and I have been getting really depressed. Romantic relationships are the same way. I have tried to flirt with people. I have actually had feelings for people, and even that's like 3 people. There are 3 people ever who I can with confidence say that I have had actual feelings for. And 2 of them have gone through breakups with me. One of them is still, one of those 2 is still one of my closest friends. And then the other one is a little confusing right now. But every time I try to flirt with somebody, or every time I try to get close to somebody, I get really nervous. And I get anxious, and I talk a lot, or I don't talk at all, and there's no middle ground. And it's hard for me to cope with as a person with anxiety. And I'm sure that it's hard for them to cope with too. So at some points I just feel like I should give up having those kinds of relationships and just focus on work and focus on what I'm good at. Because I can do my job, I can deal with thousands of people for a few days straight, but when it comes to dealing with people for months straight, it just never seems to work out for me. And it's not that I don't want it to. If I could have a successful friendship, relationship, etc., I would, and I would have one for the rest of my life if I had the choice, but it's kind of a two-way street, and maybe I try too hard, but it's really hard to change yourself, even if you think it's for the better. And I make this video and I look at myself like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm fine, and this isn't my fault, and stuff like that, but I know that probably within the next few days I'm gonna break down and I'm gonna realize, oh my god, this is totally my fault. And my life is always going to be this sad, and I'm going to struggle with this forever. And maybe that's true, and maybe it's not, but I have no idea. And I don't know what to do anymore. This is really hard to deal with. This is like a really hard video for me to make. Like, I can't. I sometimes forget to breathe, and it's like, anxiety, yay! But I feel like this needed to be said and put out there, because chances are whatever's happening with you is not your fault. My PTSD is not my fault. My anxiety is not my fault. And so on and so forth. But we're not defined by our mental issues or our emotional issues or our physical issues. We are defined by our personality. We are defined by who we are, and who I am should be a likable person to me. And maybe a lot of people don't like me, and maybe relationships aren't my thing, and maybe I won't go through my life with any constant friendships, but I don't necessarily think that I should give up. I would like to be happy. It's just really hard. It's just so hard. I wish I could edit stuff out of this, but I'm not going to because I don't want to hide anything anymore. I want to be honest and I want to be open. And I want to let you guys know that this is so difficult to deal with, and I hope that it's gonna get better. But I really have no idea, and my computer's making weird noises, and I don't know anymore, and I'm not asking for help, and I'm not apologizing, but if you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, well, you know, I have the same problems and I'm really sad and I'm gonna be miserable, then my advice for you, and I wish that I could take the advice that I give, is that realize that this isn't your fault, that this isn't forever. Realize that somebody loves you. I love you. I love everyone. Especially if I don't know you. If I don't have a reason not to love you, I probably love you. And if you sat through this video for this long, clearly you have some interest in what I'm saying and some point of reference. So I hope that it gets better for you. And I hope that it gets better for me. And who knows? Maybe in a year I'll be posting a video and I will be happily in a relationship with a lot of really amazing friends and an amazing job and an amazing me. And I'll feel a lot better. Maybe I'll be making a video to update you about how I've tried to help myself and make this better. And maybe you'll be watching this and then watching that and say, hey, well, it got better for me, so hopefully it'll get better for you. And that's what I'm saying to you now, is that I hope it gets better for you. And I feel like Felicia Day's character in The Guild at Codex, I'm watching The Guild for like the 20th time this year. It's like the beginning of the year. But I feel like I struggle really hard with forming and maintaining relationships, just like her. And now I'm talking to a camera, except this is going on the internet, so cool. I've mumbled for the past 8.5 minutes, and I'm sure you're tired of watching this bullshit, so I'm gonna log off and wish you luck. Bye, guys.